in 1882, there was a dentist / scientist, or I'm pretty sure he was a dentist, named W.D. Miller. And what he did was he took a tooth that was extracted, and he put it in a test tube, and he put some human saliva and some bread in the test tube. And over time, in this test tube experiment, the tooth started deteriorating. And he said, look, we have found a mechanism for tooth decay. For tooth decay. And that's where our modern theory has come from, the theory that acid, or that bacteria eat sugar, and it causes acid to dissolve our teeth. But I looked up his information, and he says, in his own words, I don't have the quote exactly in front of me, but in his own words, he says, yes, acid dissolves teeth, but a healthy tooth does not decay. So in 2010, we go to the American Dental Association website, and they tell us, they want us to believe that bacteria is what caused tooth decay, and they left out this very important point from the original theory. And by the way, healthy teeth don't decay, even if there's acid, even if there's bacteria, even sugar. Not going to happen.
And tell me about that property of sugar that's really interesting when it comes to bacteria.
I can tell you've carefully studied the book.
I read it.
The sugar has, if you have a lot of sugar and you put it on bacteria, it dehydrates them so they all die. Sugar is used as a preservative in foods because it prevents bacterial growth. So how does sugar on your teeth feed bacteria? If you had small amounts of sugar, it would, but if you ate a lot of sugar, which we know isn't good for us, it's not going to promote decay on the surface necessarily.
Exactly. I love that when you're talking about that in the book, because that's when it really clicked for me too. Like, if you got a bowl of sugar out somewhere, it doesn't really attract a whole lot of bacteria and flies and stuff like that. But if you leave some meat out or some vegetables out, things that decay, it will. And I was like, yeah, sugar really can't be it must be something about the person, maybe something about their body chemistry. Yeah. And so I want to jump into that body chemistry real quick in a second. But before we do that, I want you to tell us a little bit more about Weston Price. Our audience is pretty familiar with Weston Price, but when we talk about Weston Price on my show, it's more like, he went and studied the isolated people, and we talk about the food and their health. But I don't think we've yet to have anybody talk about the teeth and what Weston Price found dentally, or if that's even a word.